This episode is brought to you by Google Gemini. With the Gemini app, you can talk live and have a real-time conversation with an AI assistant. It's great for all kinds of things, like if you want to practice for an upcoming interview, ask for advice on things to do in a new city, or brainstorm creative ideas. And by the way, this script was actually read by Gemini. Download the Gemini app for iOS and Android today. Must be 18 plus to use Gemini Live.
Looking for a pickup truck to get just about anything done? Look no further. The Chevy Silverado EV isn't just the most powerful Silverado ever, with next-level towing capability and technology. It also offers game-changing versatility with the available multi-flex midgate and tailgate, which means Silverado EV helps you carry large, bulky, and oddly shaped items up to nearly 11 feet in length. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. Visit Chevrolet.com to learn more.
This episode is brought to you by AWS. Amazon Q Business is the generative AI assistant that can securely understand your business data, summarize results, and streamline tasks. Learn what Amazon Q Business can do for you at aws.com/learn more.
Welcome to Book Talk for Book Talk with Jack and Amy, a literary podcast where we deep dive into the writings of your favorite novels. This winter, we're hosting a book club while we prepare for a 10-part literary analysis of Sarah J. Maas's Throne of Glass. This is Jack.
And I'm Amy. And each week, we'll discuss one book from our winter book club roster. By using our literary backgrounds, we'll provide our flash analysis of each book, as well as discuss listener thoughts.
This is part 2 of this week's episode, where we're discussing Lightlark by Alex Aster.
What other comments do we have from our listeners?
All right, so let's go into positives. I liked the different world building. I thought it was very unique.
I did think the world itself and the different tribes and isles was very interesting. It felt, to me, it almost, would I say it went one step further or two steps farther than A Court of Thorns and Roses? I think the answer is yes.
Absolutely. I think so. And the reason why I would say that it goes one step farther is because not only are the different powers and the different, lands and people different, like unique, the curses were different for each of them. And I thought that was so unique of everyone is cursed special in their own special little way. The fact that Arlo can't come out at daytime, right? And then Grimm can't come out at nighttime. And the wildlings will never be able to fall in love with someone. And, it's such a unique way of depicting a world and that's one of those kind of that now we're getting a show not tell, right? What is it about this world and these lands and these people that makes this curse so bad for them? Well, of course, Arlo not being able to see the sun would be painful. He is gold. He is light.
Yeah.
Same thing with Grimm. He is nighttime, And the wildlings, because part of their curse was that they couldn't love, right? Like they can't fall in love with someone. Well, for a very sensual group of people, passionate group of people, of course, that would be a curse.
Well, and it's so unique to the wildlings that it should have also been another clue that the wildlings are at the core of this whole thing, right? Aurora has cursed her best friend's people that they can't fall in love because
my God. You're right.
She was betrayed.
Oh my God.
Like I know.
That's so good.
Yeah, it is so good. And you take it for granted until you understand all the pieces.
I think if I was like betrayal, evil Jack, and I cursed you, I'd be like, I banish you from ever getting Korean barbecue again.
Or I would banish you from ever being able to eat sushi ever again.
We have to agree never to become evil enchantresses and curse one another. And that's the deal. All right. We just can't. But I didn't even put that together. That is like Chill's moment. That is a Chills worthy moment where. Yeah, you're right. Like she cursed these group of people, her best friend, of you will never be able to fall in love without both of you guys dying.
Yep.
Oh. And at one point, Isla even says that the moon people didn't even get the curses bad.
Yeah. Yep.
It was just the key players.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah. And it makes sense that, the Starlings, she made it so that the Starlings couldn't live long so that she could remain in hiding forever.
Yeah.
Like it's all really clever.
It is. What was Azul's curse? I can't remember what his land.
Skylings?
Yeah.
I actually don't remember.
This is where if I read the book, I'm sure I would sort of remember more.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah. Because, okay, so you had day, night, moon, sky, wildling, and stars. Okay,
Yep.
so there's a fair amount. Because
Yeah.
at one point, I'm like, wow, there's really nothing going on here. But Grimm isn't
No, there's
really
a
a
lot.
leader. Like, he's not really one of the Isles, really.
Right. I mean, his nation is democratic and he's elected.
Yeah, yeah.
Poor guy.
Poor guy. But then that's going to be clues that why he's going to, when we get in the second book, it's like, oh, but he's really a good guy because his nation loves him and he's been trying to take care of them. You know what I mean? I feel like a little kidnapping coming in the future. Or
we'll see. The second book is called Nightbane.
yeah, no, it's going to be 100% her falling back in love with him. Sweet, sweet torture. You know what's funny is that a couple of the comments, a number of the comments under the negatives is the love triangle. I believe one person even did love triangle and then the throwing up emoji.
Oh, see, I think maybe it's because we haven't really read a love triangle in so long that we're like, this is so refreshing.
I understand the stress of a love triangle though. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I do get I do get stressed out with love triangles because, I don't want anyone hurt. I don't want anyone. Amy is shaking her head. She was like, "No, I
No.
feast upon their blood,
I
heart
feast
eater."
upon pain. I am a wildling at heart.
Yeah.
No, for me, what is aggravating about love triangles is I have a preference and I'm wasting my time with this other dude. Like,
Yeah.
I
That's fair.
hated New Moon because I hate Jacob.
New Moon, we're about to go into Twilight land. New Moon, if Stephanie Meyer didn't have, I feel like, a more conservative background, I feel like Bella should have had sex with Jacob. And I know this is teenagers and everything, but like I don't want smut, I don't want details. I think it
Yeah.
just would have been a better book and love triangle if she had had
Her
sex for the first time
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
Jacob. However, that then needs to remove the he falls in love with her daughter thing. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I know.
Tangent aside,
Yeah.
like I understand why people don't love triangles because like you and I said, a lot of people start out a love triangle knowing who they're rooting for.
Yes.
And any time spent with the other side of the triangle feels like a waste of time and is freaking annoying. So I get it. But for me, I genuinely didn't know who I wanted her to be with.
I know. They're both like, I'm on board with both. Go for it. Have a little
Yeah.
bit of something, something,
You're a wildling.
What if the guys kiss too? I don't know. Like just let's talk a little bit about wildlings because I do love their land. I love that they're in tune with nature. And that then means that they're also in tune with their own bodies, their own selves, their own sexuality. Like there's a lot to them, but there's also the concept of shaming because they're considered wildlings. They're wild. They can't contain their own desires, their own
Right.
bodies and everything. So there is a shame factor to that too. But at the same time, I'm just like, get it, girl.
Well, and even though the other groups shame Isla and her people for their sensuality and basically treat them like succubuses because they're temptresses, Isla doesn't feel shame about her background.
I love her lack of shame. I love the way that she talks about her predecessors. Like she calls them like, great seductresses, prolific, like, and it's a badge of honor. You know what I mean? It's the women who ruled before me fucked. And they fucked hard. and
And they should be celebrated.
yeah, they should be
Yeah.
celebrated. And it is great where you have a land that does not shame women, celebrates women, has women in
Mhm.
power,
Mhm.
and yet their ruler is someone who has been quarantined away so hard she wasn't even allowed to be in a room with a man.
Yeah.
It goes against her very nature as a wildling.
Right. Right. Which should have been another clue.
Yeah, that her guardians are the ones who were just like, "Nope, we're gonna go against everything that makes
Is in
you a
your
wildling.
nature.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's in your
exactly.
nature. We're gonna hide you away. Don't even be near a man." Oh, no. I just realized Isla probably because, like, it's implied that Isla's never had sex before, but now I'm realizing, like, when her
Yeah.
and Arlo are, together, she like, or he's, like, taking off his shirt, and he was like, "You say you've never seen a body before?" She's like, I'm not answering this question. He knows when I'm
Yeah.
lying." Versus now we realize there was a year, and we know that there are these moments, these memories that she did have. That adds another layer of betrayal.
Yep. Yep.
'Cause now she's realizing that she has had sex before.
And those memories were taken away.
Yeah. I just feel like that's as the reason why I'm gonna, like, kinda come back to the whole sex and the reason why it matters so much. I mean, 1, it's, like, her body and you're taking away her and everything, but 2, how much in that moment when Isla had sex with Grimm before her memories were taken away, did she feel like she was truly a wildling at that point? Where
Mhm.
she didn't feel separate, where she felt like, "Wow, I am now like my predecessors." Like,
Right.
I am in charge of my own body now.
Right. It was probably a very empowering moment for her,
Yes.
and that is taken away.
Yeah.
And then for her to know it's been taken away and she can't remember it is a violation of her body in a lot of ways too. So
Because yeah.
they've taken away her power
Uh-huh.
and her knowledge that she was able to and chose to grasp it.
Because now there's this other layer where if she doesn't remember what happened, but she knows that, like, her body has had this experience, when she eventually has sex with Arlo for the first time, she's having sex for the first time again, but isn't,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
that's
Mindfuck.
such a mindfuck and, taking away something from her, taking away a lot of things from her, but that makes
Yeah.
Grimm even more, which makes the whole process even more painful, which I love, yes, feast upon your tears.
But, I mean, for me, it really makes it hard for Grimm to come back from that, in
Which
my
is why
opinion.
I know, which is why the second book is gonna be so good because it's gonna make us love him so much, because a couple of the pros that people said what they did like was Grimm, hearts.
I did like Grimm. I mean, he is let's ignore the fact that he took away her memories. There's an undeniable attraction between the 2.
Yeah, yeah,
He is a woman's man, like, he says romantic things.
yeah.
You want him to sweep you off your feet.
He goes from calling her Heart Eater to just Heart.
Heart, I know, it's so cute.
Someone says, "I love the triangles, it was well done, especially in Nightbane. I was genuinely torn." Ah!
Oh.
I'm excited. I love the books that were, that are continued series and, were
Yeah.
able that was one someone wrote to us and said, "Hey, can you" last in the summer book club, we did a whole lot of first books that had not,
Didn't
did not
weren't
have
complete.
that weren't complete, and someone was like, "Please don't do that again." And I'm like, "We'll try." So this is one where I'm like, "Oh, yes, another one that the other 2 are out and it's ready."
Yeah.
And I don't wanna
Yeah.
spoil it. I don't wanna look to see who's who, like, who's I don't know how I would feel. Does someone have to die? Is that how it is? Like,
No, it can be a wide choose.
no, I
Because
agree. She needs
remember,
both. She gets both.
the world was created by day, night, and wildlings.
Nothing would make me happier. than a why choose. I think they all take a nice, lovely vacation to Paris. I think that they
I
some
think they all
people
need to take a bath together.
some people are gonna be like, "What are they she's talking about Paris?" Because they're gonna go sightseeing. They're gonna go to different places like the Eiffel Tower. And then people are still going to be, "What does that mean?" Like, my one cousin, I told her about it, she had no idea what that meant, and then I had to, like, show her a photo, and she was like, "What?"
Be careful what you search on Google, folks.
Yeah, definitely be careful. I would love but even beyond the, like, smutty stuff, I think it would like, I love the potential love between the 2 of them, between all 3 of
Mhm.
them that
Mhm.
I think we can find peace amongst all 3 of them. I think we
I
can have
know.
a good schedule going here.
I hope people don't spoil it for us. I really wanna go
I
and
know.
read.
There's so many books to read now. It's
I know, I know, I know.
Trial of the
Um,
Sun Queen, Spark of the Everflame, Dwarf
Lightlark.
Guild. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amy's just kinda sitting here, absorbing her TBR.
Yeah. Yeah. I've always been a don't have a TBR person and just read things as they come into my life. Uh, and that's why I resist things so hard when Jack recommends things because I'm like, I don't want to have a TBR. I'll just get to it when I feel like it.
Oh.
But now I have a TBR.
Sucker.
It hurts my heart.
The good news is that we're gonna be so far ahead on recording that you'll have books like we're gonna be still doing Throne of Glass and stuff, but that's like a reading. You're gonna have to have books to commute to.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna demolish so many of these series so fast.
It's going to go so fast.
Excuse us while we hydrate and you listen to this ad. The best thing about gift giving is when you can identify the things someone needs that they would never get themselves and that they're actually excited to receive.
Is this your way of saying that you're gonna get me something from Quince, Amy?
I might if that's what you want.
I absolutely do because Quince lets you treat your loved ones, and I am your loved one, with everyday luxury goods, but at a very affordable price. I've actually been looking at their wool coats because now I'm traveling for the winter and I realize I don't own coats. And I am shocked with just how reasonably priced these are.
They do that by partnering directly with top factories and they cut the cost of the middleman, which means we get more affordable pricing.
And not only can you get amazing wool coats from Quince or their Mongolian cashmere sweaters, which only start for $50, but you also have these amazing year-round gifts like their 14 karat gold jewelry, their Italian leather handbags.
All of the things you listed use premium fabrics and finishes so that every piece feels like luxury.
Gift luxury this holiday without the luxury price tag. Go to quince.com/booktalk, BOOKTALK, for 365-day returns plus free shipping on your order.
That's QUINCE.com/booktalk, BOOKTALK, to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/booktalk.
This episode is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first, like to check the date of the big game first before you accidentally buy tickets on your 20th wedding anniversary and have to spend the next 20 years of your marriage making up for it. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in places that could expose you to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, their US-based restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
¿Hablas español?
Sprichst du Deutsch?
Kan du norsk?
If you've heard that sound from Babbel before, I bet you do. Babbel is the science-backed language learning app that actually works. With quick 10-minute lessons handcrafted by over 200 language experts, Babbel gets you on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. With over 16 million subscriptions sold and a 20-day money-back guarantee, just start speaking another language with Babbel. Right now, up to 55% off your Babbel subscription at babbel.com/Spotify podcast. Spelled BABBEL.com/Spotify podcast. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Let's talk about the trials.
Oh, yeah.
I liked this idea of trials not being like set and the same trials used from year to year. So think of Serpents and the Wings of Night.
Yeah.
Where Aurea was able to study.
Yes.
And look at all the patterns. And so she could kind of anticipate what may or may not be coming. I liked that each trial in Lightlark was determined by each ruler.
Yes.
And that they could shape it to anyone's advantage or disadvantage.
Yep.
I thought that was a nice little spin on the idea of like a trial or a competition.
Yeah, and I think what I also loved about it is how at the core, in theory, each trial is about why they should survive. What is it that their kingdom provides? What is it about them as a ruler that should matter? And I really enjoyed that quite a bit. I also enjoyed that there was a balance between when people were allowed to kill, like when the leaders were allowed to kill each other versus when they weren't allowed. Like, you have 50 days to hear them out. You have 50 days that you are forced to listen and compete and to see what's going on.
Yeah.
After that, it's fair game.
Good luck.
Yeah. I thought it was a unique perspective on trials because, like we've talked about before, concept of trials, they're not new. We have so many different variations and versions of them. But what does a trial look like when it's amongst rulers, amongst leaders, amongst people who, it's not like they're not out there fighting one another. It's a matter of wits, right? And some stamina, some strength, but ultimately wits.
Yeah, ultimately wits, and showcasing an entire nation and why it's valuable to the ecosystem. Like, that's unique.
Hard. That's unique. Yeah. It's unique. It's hard. It's very, it's very good. And a lot of these ones I'm going to think about, like, just kind of that stick with me. Like the one where Arlo's trial was, tell me your truth.
Yeah.
And he was willing to win by divulging that he's going to die. Like, that was a great moment. Or, what was another one where, facing your greatest fear in the mirror. That was a really good one. Can you remind me, what was Isla's trial?
Great question. So Grimm's trial was combat.
Yep.
Cleo's maybe it was Azul, show your power.
Yeah. And that's where she threw the knives at Arlo, which was
Arlo's
such a good move.
Yeah. Arlo's was tell me your secret. Celeste was the mirror, face your darkest fear. What is Isla's?
I wonder what the greater meeting between Celeste, Aurora choosing face your greatest fears. Because I feel like there's more. Yeah, I like that. That feels like a very rich moment of like, why would someone who's betraying everyone or betraying Isla choose the face your greatest fears? What was Isla's? I remember her being proud of herself. Because there was one where they had to say what they bring to the table. I wanted to say hers were like more on the simple side.
Oh, yeah, it was. It was basically, tell this crowd what your nation
could bring. Okay, so that was hers. Like, what can your nation bring?
Right. And that's when Cleo says, we've got ships. Yeah. And everyone's like,
ships! Anything but ships!
Oh, yeah. And then Isla puts her arm in the fire.
Right,
and then shows their healing tonics.
Oh, that was going to bug us forever.
Yeah, that really was. Dug deep.
Yeah, you did. I'm proud of you. Everything is a blur. Like my brain is mush after this week because I also needed some intense palate cleanser in between
Mhm.
Once Upon a Broken Heart. I need to get
Oh,
through that.
yeah.
So I like power read some, nice cleansing books.
Stalker
Yeah,
romances.
stalker romances. Something to like, dip it's like wasabi or not wasabi, ginger, you got to cleanse your palate
Yeah.
with a stalker romance. That's all. That's all a girl needs. Yeah, overall very happy with this book. I thought that the themes are pretty good with it.
Mhm.
It felt like definitely more about than love or just triangle. Not mad if that's what one of the themes is for the second book, like, bring on that love romance. I thought that you don't I personally feel like in books, you don't see depictions of people falling in love, and I think that seeing Arlo and Isla falling in love over the course of 3 months was a very realistic. I
Yeah.
think people can fall in love in 3 months, I think
Yeah.
that's do you like now, is that enough for them to trust each other completely? No, 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 but, like, I feel like their falling in love story was one of the more realistic ones I've seen in
Yeah,
books.
and I completely agree. At the end of the book, I was like, "Are they really in love?" Because it doesn't look like love stories in other
Yeah.
books, and the more I thought about it, the more I was like, "No, they truly showed the
Yes.
growing affection and care for each other in a way that is not manipulated by fated mates."
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. It also it felt somewhere between a choice and not a choice, you know? I mean,
Mhm.
isn't that, like, part of love, right? Like, you can't be like, "And now I'm gonna fall in love with you," but at the same time, there was a choice to continue helping one another, to save one another, there was moments of vulnerability on both parts, like, both of them fell asleep on each other's legs,
Mhm.
and they saved one another, and, like, that's why Arlo's betrayal or seems like betrayal was so hard because Isla kept going through all the moments in her head thinking, "But what about this? Like,
Mhm.
I thought we had gone past that. I thought we're okay." The way that she flicks his crown every single time, and then he flicks her crown and dents it, and then at the end, he puts the crown on her. Yeah. I love it. It was really sweet. Yeah, I felt like it was somewhere between a sweet love story and not, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
just a lot of but then at the same time, when we got grim, I was like, "I'm not mad at this either."
Yeah. I look forward to reading the rest,
Yeah,
and that's all I got.
that's all we got. All right. Another win for book club,
Yeah,
whether anyone else agrees with it or not. And I think
yeah,
what helps is that we have zero memory of the marketing because that was one of the negative comments is that someone wrote too much marketing for this. It's a 3-star for me. That's what someone
yeah.
else wrote. So, I mean, go
Mm,
into it blindly, don't know anything about it. You're going to have a great time.
yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Book Talk for Book Talk with Jack and Amy. We encourage you to rate and subscribe to our show on your preferred podcast listening platform. Next week, we'll be taking just a 1-week break from book club for the holiday season. Stick around for some special mini episodes next week, and we'll be back with One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig on January 7th.
We would love to hear your thoughts based on today's conversation. If you'd like to submit your take on any of the books we plan to discuss later this winter, please be sure to follow us on Instagram, where we ask for listener submissions.
If you're enjoying the podcast, please visit our website, booktalkforbooktalk.com, to view our latest merch and learn about supporting the show through Patreon or Venmo. You can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube at the handle Book Talk for Book Talk, but the best way to support the show, pretty please, is by sharing on social and with your friends.
Bye.
Okay.
Hide the script.
Bring you up.
Let me
Look at
put
your
this-
lovely face.
I'm going to put this on Do Not Disturb.
All right, do not disturb. That's important. Leave me be, people. Leave me be. It's just my mom.
I know, it's my family group chat is blowing up right now. The best thing about gift giving is when you can identify the things someone needs that they would never get themselves, and that they're actually excited to receive.
Is this your way of saying that you're going to get me something from Quince, Amy?
I might, if that's what you want.
I absolutely do, because Quince lets you treat your loved ones, and I am your loved one, with everyday luxury goods, but at a very affordable price. I've actually been looking at their wool coats because now I'm traveling for the winter and I realize I don't own coats. And I am shocked with just how reasonably priced these are.
They do that by partnering directly with top factories, and they cut the cost of the middleman, which means we get more affordable pricing.
And not only can you get amazing wool coats from Quince or their Mongolian cashmere sweaters, which only start for $50, but you also have these amazing year-round gifts like their 14 karat gold jewelry, their Italian leather handbags.
All of the things you listed use premium fabrics and finishes so that every piece feels like luxury.
Gift luxury this holiday without the luxury price tag. Go to quince.com/booktalk, BOOKTALK, for 365-day returns plus free shipping on your order.
That's QUINCE.com/booktalk, BOOKTALK, to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/booktalk.